Hello, everyone. Hi. How is everybody doing? This is a week straight that we have not had drop frames. I think it's safe to say that we've done it. And the internet is on our side. Thank God. But yeah, how is everyone? I think it might just be Alex right now. So hi, Alex. What's up? But if not, I hope everyone else is well too. Plans for today. I am playing catch up still because the time change has messed me up. The weekend was long. Redoing my office. Me, hello. I really can't wait until we can start using these new emotes too. I think it'll be fun. There's just something about them that make me giggle. I love it. But yeah, still feeling like I'm crawling my way out of the hole of being behind on work. So that's what today is. I'm gonna do Morpho studies just because I feel like those are a nice warm-up, and then after that, I don't really know. It's maybe gonna be painting the vampire. I don't know. We're gonna take it as it comes. It probably is gonna be that because I really want to finish those, just so I could post them and potentially make like videos and stuff out of them. That would be awesome. Yeah, and then just move on to either like environment work on here or like creating an original character. I feel like those would be fun things to move on to. I really wish I could work on my short film stuff on here, but that, yeah, I know that's not allowed. Unless, no. It would be fun though. Alright, I'm just pulling up the page for our anatomy studies. It's gonna be more hands. A couple days more worth of hands, which is good practice. I feel a lot better looking at the ones I did yesterday though. They do not look too bad. Let me pull that up for everybody. Where am I? There I am. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with these. Yeah, for sure. So this is what we got so far. Our next page is a lot of the same thing over and over again. So maybe I'll be getting faster at them. Who knows? Who knows? We're bumping up here. Do we have the right? Cool. That's what I like to draw with. It's the right one. But yeah. I am feeling like the hand section has been my least favorite so far, and I don't think it's because of the subject matter. I think it's because I still don't quite feel 100% good about a construction method. Be right back. Yeah, no problem. I'm just gonna talk away. Yeah, I feel like I haven't quite nailed a good construction method for this yet. Like, I mean, it's good enough. Like, when I look at what I did yesterday, I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's actually fine, and like I'm happy with it. But the arms and stuff, I remember I felt more like I understand the arms. With this, I'm not feeling as good of a grasp on the hands. Really? Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. It's just a little more it's like less tangible to me right now. I don't know how to describe it. That's not right. That perspective's not right. I don't think it's going back in space as much as I think it is. Something with these guys being a little skinnier. So now I'm gonna cheat a bit. Copy paste. Is it cheating? Or is it using our tools? Alex would be proud of me if he heard that. Where are your tools? If people here don't know of Wolfpack and they like hi-fi, like funk kind of music, I highly recommend Wolfpack. And that's a joke from them. There's like a spoken word thing they published. Talk about, where are your tools, man? Okay, I just want to put a little bit of a harder line here. But we're gonna add in the fingers. Assuming this is the same structure. I'm gonna go ahead and tilt it just for a bit more of like a dynamic look. I will say I have learned that I liked blocking the fingers in and getting these kinds of shapes with them. That helps me a lot. That helps me a ton. I don't know if that's how other people do it. You know, that'd actually be a really interesting thing is like, see, this is why Discord, man. Discord's in the future. Because I want to talk to people more. And we share our ideas and our art together. I feel like there's got to be a million different ways people draw hands, you know? And I'm really interested to see how people execute that. Alright, knocking this back. Especially these parts. Gonna go in with a bit of a harder line. Let's see, how do I wanna... I'll draw like the little... I'll indicate the cylinders and stuff. Oops, that wasn't very good. It's fine, it's fine. Let's see, this will actually come up there more. These are still indicated as squares right now, so I'm gonna keep doing that. Because I think this is just teaching us like the basic construction of the palm and the wrist and such. And how that's connected. So I will follow my reference. I will respect their wishes. But I will try to do a bit better with these fingers. Especially because the fingers is where I feel like I'm actually the least comfortable. Like I'm losing the most shape, I think, and interest in the fingers. This one's going better though. Feels better, at least to me. Kind of like indicate that. Yeah, that's better. They're like kind of dainty. A little bit. Just a bit, it's fine. Yeah, if anything, the index finger now is a little bit too thick. Let's do this. Let's feather it a tad, and we're just gonna squish it up. Boop. Boop. Yeah, that maybe wasn't the best way to do it, but you know, we learn. We live, we learn, we adapt. We overcome. Yeah, that's better. It at least fits the shape of the hand more. Okay. Speaking of Wolfpack, though, earlier, there have been times I've been, like, really wanting and excited to, like, play music like that on here. But I don't know if I'll ever be able to because of, like, copyright stuff, which I get, but... I want to talk about my music tastes, at least, if you guys can't hear them. Granted, I do love lo-fi. Lo-fi like this is always great to kind of paint and study, too. Especially because I'm not normally one for just, like, completely quiet room. Something like lo-fi is a really good filler. On to the next hand. It's very similar. I haven't talked about this in a while, but I used to mention, because before I started doing hands, we were doing arm anatomy days. That was how I started the streams, and it was like when I started streaming, God, like a month ago now, it was a lot of arm anatomy. And so, of course, like, we would end up drawing hands at the end of it, because, like, it's part of the arm. And I would always, you know, I wasn't, like, focused on studying the hand. I was studying, like, the forearm muscles, or, like, oh, yeah, how does the tricep work, and blah, blah, blah. And I'd get to the hand, and I'd just be like, oh, God. All right, here we go. And I would always say sometimes it was a good hand day or a bad hand day. And I think that's a real thing with artists, I've learned. Like, today feels like a good hand day. Everything's just kind of making sense a bit more to me. Some days, though, yesterday, I think was a bad hand day. Do I like that? Do I like that? Maybe. I kind of want this to come up more. Yeah, and that's a bit better. We just, like, get rid of this line here. A little less tangential. And honestly, maybe just, like, take this and, like, tweak the, yeah, the perspective is a little funny. Yeah, that's better. And we attach it to the rest of the arm. And make it not so disembodied. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's mostly what I want out of that. Let's add the fingers. I honestly think one of the fingers that gives me the hardest times is the pinky. If I'm being frank. Which is odd. I don't think I would have expected that. Okay, let's assume maybe there's like a gap, like here, you know? Well, then it wouldn't have been there, I guess. Hold on. This would go there. This would bend like there-ish. Okay, we fix that. We fix that in post. It still wants the arm being really basic shapes. Same thing with the hand, the palm. It seems to be focusing more on the fingers, so I will do the same. Let's see, and we can actually kind of like, if we're doing true construction method, let's do what it taught us before. Kind of have this help us. These are spaced evenly apart. Okay. Yeah, I think that helps a ton. Kind of figuring out where exactly the fingers are connecting. Like that. Although those fingers are so long. I need to make them not as long. We'll do that in a second. Yeah, way too long. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, let's take these. These guys? Shorter. Maybe not that shorter. Yeah, just a little bump. Knock them back. Yeah, these are lacking a kind of gesture I want them to have. Let's maybe like... Okay, I'm gonna like destroy this, but yeah, maybe bent more there. I'll sketch over it, clean it up, and then make this guy not as long. Yeah, that seems a bit better. Yeah, it's improved. It's an improved hand. I'll take that. It doesn't really have me drawing knuckles either, but I might indicate them for my own sake. Kind of like where the form of the hand would change. Yeah, that's better. I'll take that. Actually, we'll just make the arm so it's not like completely disembodied. Yeah, that's good. That is fine. Let's see what's next. Oh, cool. The next is like a not as boxy hand. Okay, we're gonna take what we've learned. We're gonna draw like a real hand. Start with a construction method. Gosh, they gave me a funny angle for this though. I guess they did just box in the hand like this. Pretend the knuckles are there. The thumb is on the other side though. Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's actually pretend it's got a thing below it. Let's pretend this is a box. I think that makes more sense. Same thing with this. This will be boxy. It kind of comes out to the forearm. We remember that from our arms. Our arm warm-ups, at least. It does have this curving a bit, which is kind of cool. Yeah, that's fine. Kind of add in the thumb. I always kind of forget. I have to look at my own thumb for reference. Hi, Yedik. Are you winning? You know, for hand studies, I would call this winning. It's, drawing hands is always like a hit or miss thing for me. Which is why we're studying them, you know? You gotta throw yourself in the deep end sometimes to get better. But yeah, I'd say today's not the worst hand day I've had. I'll take it, I'll take it. It's actually what we've been calling them. Is it a good hand day or a bad hand day? Like your hair, you know? I do like boxing in the finger shapes like this. Like, okay, let's roughly kind of like figure that out. This is a bit big though. So we'll do this. Yeah, and then finish out the thumb. I'm gonna look at my own hand. The thumb, my tip of my thumb comes about there. So we'll add a little bit of meat to the bone now. And knock all this back. And I'll draw over it. See if it gets any better. I do also like this idea where they, if you really want to build it from the ground up, in the book they have you kind of like draw out where the fingers are actually connected, and that actually quite helps. Especially if you're like not working off reference, you're trying to just construct, see what you got. Okay. So the middle finger would be the teeniest bit longer, but perspective, change that a tad. Okay, and then the arm above this, we're gonna leave this like a skeleton, and we're gonna use the same skeleton to draw like a proper human hand. And not like an action figure. There we go. I like that line better. What book is it? Oh yeah. So you can actually use exclamation point studies in the chat and it'll give you like the whole proper title. But I can tell you it's the Morpho series. It's this book. Specifically, this one is Simplified Forms, but there's a whole series of them. There's like 7 or 8 of these books. And they're really nice and short, but full of information. Simplified Forms is just that, where it's teaching you how to break down anatomy into like really basic shapes. So stuff we've done earlier has been like, I don't know, let's pick a random page. Like this, where it's kind of teaching you like how the muscles all interact with one another. Or, I don't know, we're gonna pop around. See what we can find. Yeah, like this is a good example. This is showing you like how the muscles all build up and like the elbows work as a hinge and whatnot. I've heard of those, never used them myself though. I really like them. I actually got them from, oh, she's really big on Instagram. What is her name? It's eluding me. Devin L. Kurtz. That's who it is. I got these books as an idea from her, and it's the first anatomy book that's really clicked with me. That's helped me like construct without reference. That's kind of the point of me doing these studies on stream, is like I'm trying to learn how to like be self-reliant if I want to draw a person, because normally I'm just so chained to reference. It's a little hard. Hi Elvoof. Say my name. Elvoof. Do I say your name correctly? I don't know if I've ever asked you that. I hope I do. Elvoof. Elvoof. You're goddamn right. Well, hello. I hope you're having a good day. But yeah, I feel like anatomy books are like a very hit or miss thing for people, and it totally depends on like how you study and like your background and who you are. These are the first ones that have really clicked with me for my goals, so I always recommend them in case, you know, they might do that for someone else. I'm actually gonna like bend this wrist a bit funny. I'm gonna do something different. Yeah, and then we're gonna take this. We're gonna take the knuckle bones. We're gonna layer over one another, sort of. I do like drawing them as diamonds. That does help me. But yeah, another book in this series I want to eventually get to, and I may or may not do on stream. There's so many things I want to do on stream. It's so hard to get to everything. But one of these books is how to draw like clothes and the science of how clothes drape over the body. Like to actually figure out if you don't have reference of certain fabrics or body types or whatnot. You can just figure it out if you don't have it. And like, I don't know why I'm so bad at drawing clothes. It's not even like I'm bad at it. It's just like if I don't have reference, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. This feels wrong. So that's one I'd like to work through. Okay, we're gonna make this super loose because the point of this is the hand, not the arm. Okay, we'll knock this back, or even just make it smaller. Now we're gonna draw a real hand. Terrible at it also, but drapery is really fun. It is really fun, especially like big, beautiful flowing dresses, or like sometimes I'll go to like Pinterest and I see just like the coolest outfits, or like I've never really been like a fashion person, like fashion week and stuff. I love it, but I'm just not like as into it as some people are, or like I don't even want to say as into it. I just don't know as much as some people, you know? It's one of those things that I like, but I have no knowledge of really, or like practical knowledge of. And sometimes I go on Pinterest and I see like New York Fashion Week or something, or like Paris Fashion Week. And some of the outfits that come out of that, I'm like, I want to draw that. That looks amazing. And thank God there's a lot of pictures. Because otherwise I would be struggling. I would be struggling. Alright, let's try to do this similar thing. We're gonna draw like a proper hand. Make it look like not a box. Yeah, if anything, I feel like fashion like that is something I've grown an appreciation for the older I get, and the more I've like gotten into art and learned about like costuming and, you know, design of clothes. I'm so into it now. Okay, assuming that's where the bone would be. We're just gonna kind of do the wrist maybe a little bit skinnier. Yeah, assume it's there. I don't think I want the palm that thick. We're gonna scrunch it up. Actually, I'm gonna do... Okay, a similar thing to what this guy did. This is a little more like steep. Steep of an angle. Yeah. I'm gonna draw in super rough circles just for my own well-being. And kind of, let's apply the knuckles first and see what happens, huh? Draw maybe the rough shape of the hands. It's really just the fingers kind of like, yeah, bowing. Kind of like that, or bowing. Whatever. I don't like that shape as much. We're gonna start over. I don't think that shape was right. Drawing the thumb. Yeah, we'll kind of do what we did last time with the sticks. The little sticks. And kind of this bit for the end. Fill that in later. Yeah, if I finish these hand pages and I kind of have like a system for building this from the ground up, then I feel like I'll have gotten what I've wanted out of it. Because the cool thing is with hands, I can always take pictures of my own reference, right? It's really easy for me to like, ooh, I want the hand to look like this. And then I just stare at my own hand and figure it out. Or, you know, taking pictures of my own hands. Or there's always kind of ways around it, thankfully. But if I need to, for whatever reason, if I'm in a pickle and I really got to figure it out, I'm confident I could. So now if we're like kind of roughing in this shape, the knuckle would be here. Maybe this would actually come out a bit more then. Oh, look at my own hand again. Okay, this flap of skin actually comes down like way lower than I thought, so there's that. At least on my hand it does. That's another thing. People's hands work so differently and look really different. It is super interesting to see all the change. Oops, we'll knock all that back, including this guy. Yeah, it's very interesting to see all the change in people's hands. Or even like how they move and stuff too. I won't show this on stream in case it like grosses people out, but like my fingers can move really far back in this direction, the opposite direction, very easily. And I didn't know that was like a weird thing that some people couldn't do until one day I did it in high school to crack my knuckles, and I like bent my fingers really far back, and someone next to me was like, "Oh my god, what's wrong with your hands?" And I was like, "What do you mean what's wrong with my hands? Like they're fine?" Until I realized I was the weirdo, and we started like messing with each other's fingers, and I realized that, like, oh yeah, my hands just feel really, like, loose, I guess? I don't really know how to describe it. It was odd. It was a funny thing. Okay, I'm gonna kind of sneak this pinky behind this. But yeah, it's also kind of funny, like, having stories like that when it comes to art. I feel like art is a lot of, like, figuring out how the world works, or, like, how to observe the world around you, you know? And that was a learning moment. That was a learning moment for me. Okay, I actually don't... Those wouldn't go in that direction. Why did I do that? Silly me. And actually, okay, something I might do for dynamic's sake is kind of get the fingers going, like, yeah, like bending in this way. That might be kind of nice. How does that look from afar? The thumb's actually a funny size. We're gonna mess around with it. We're gonna give it the old wiggle. Because I think it needs just to be a tad bigger. Yeah, that looks better. A bit odd. I feel like this could come down a little lower, but it's kind of indicated funny even in the reference, so I'm gonna leave it. Yeah, it's just kind of like that. And then there is some shadow and stuff, so we'll, you know, we'll pretty it up just a bit. Some cross hatching and stuff is not hard to do. Okay, there's that. I also don't know if anyone's noticed, but if you... No, I don't even think you need it. I added better Twitch TV emotes. Which I didn't know I had to, like, add in myself, but I did it. And they're done now, and I think they're hilarious. One of the next things I really want to add is a soundboard. I have to wait until I actually, like, get channel points proper and such to do that, but man... When the time comes, it's gonna happen. Okay, cool. Sweet. This is all good. Move it a little closer to this guy. The requirement for channel points? Affiliate? Yeah, I think it is. I'm actually not totally sure. I know emotes are, because there's actually a plan where we've had a couple of, like, animated, or how am I supposed to say, it's like animators, but like proper, like, actually make the pictures move animator people on, and we found out that I get animated emotes whenever I get affiliate, and I think at this point all I need to hit is like the 50 follower mark. And so one of our goals is when I hit the 50 followers, I'm going to learn how to animate on stream with everyone in chat trying to help me. And so I'm going to get Procreate Dreams. Everyone's going to give me animated emote ideas and help me and watch as I just kind of like stumble a bit and figure it out. And then among other things. So like, yeah, I think channel points, and there's like some plans for that and like a soundboard thing. There's also potentially the idea of like a Discord, because I really want to have a Discord so that people can like, you know, share their art, or like if they do these warm-up studies with me or their own warm-up studies, you know, we can have like a little section for that. Or like if I ever do portfolio critiques, or like if people want to help each other, or even just like stupid shit like a book club or something. I don't know. I think it'd be really fun to just like do stuff like that. So yeah, it'd be a fun time. But I do think the requirement is affiliate. And I'm still a little baby on Twitch. I'm still new here. Okay, what do we got? We're like halfway through this page. It's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, we're very excited for it. Someone also keeps requesting a 24-hour stream, and I don't think I have that in my bones. I think the era of staying up for 24 hours has lost me. But you never know. I'm like a never say never kind of person, but also like 24 hours is that's a hefty price to pay. Maybe not. Some people have it built in their body, I feel like. Some people just built different, you know? And I'm not one of them. It's okay. I've accepted that. Okay, I actually really like when the hand swoops that way. I think that's better. Yeah, no way. I'm the same. I'm getting too old. I get grumpy without enough sleep. Yup, big same. I get hangry way more than I used to. I'm not even like I don't know, when people are like, I had this one streamer that I watch, and he's doing a subathon right now, and it's incredible. He's been streaming for like 10 days straight, even like sleeps on stream, eats on stream. If he has to go out to run errands, stream comes with him on the gimbal. It's really incredible. And he's doing great. I could never do it in a million years. And I found out the other day, because like I have him on when I can, but that's not like 24/7 or anything. And I found out the other day, I went to bed at like my normal time, and he was up until like 4:30 a.m. And I think he's older than me too. He's like 5, 6, 7 years older than me. And he was like, yeah, I went to bed at 4:30 a.m. and then woke up at 10. And I was like, I'd be dying. I'd be actually dying if I was doing what you were doing. He must just be a night owl, though. I feel like some people really are, like, I mean, I say that jokingly, like, built different, but yeah, I guess some people are just kind of, like, more built for that kind of sleep schedule. I don't know. I commend him. I don't know how he does it. My body would be falling apart. There's even another guy I watch. Okay. There's another guy I watch who he recently had twins. He's also a little older than me, I think. So like isn't old, but isn't like, you know, a freaking college kid or anything either. And he just had twins with his wife. And oh my god, this guy took like 2 or 3 weeks off and then was right back at streaming, because he's like the breadwinner, and his wife is able to like stay at home with the kids, and that's kind of like their whole plan, which like is awesome. I'm glad they're able to make that work. But this guy would be like, yeah, I got like 3 hours of sleep last night. And then he streams for like, I don't even know, he probably streams like 8 hours a day because he treats it like a 9 to 5. And I'm over here like, I'm so impressed. I don't know how your brain hasn't ran out of juice. I think I'd actually be brain dead. And then sometimes I don't go too far down this I don't go too far down this hole because I don't want to feel bad about myself either. But then I'm like, how come all these people can do that and I can't? You know? But I think that's also a pretty normal thought for people. If anything, they're probably the outliers. Okay, yeah, I feel like I'm getting good with hand proportions. When I do this as like a little guide, I think that helps the construction. I've gone to work on 3 hours before, but I felt stupid the whole day. I could imagine. Like I've had a similar experience, making all kinds of mistakes. Yeah, it's so tough. I had 1 or 2 days like that in college where like I had to pull all-nighters for like papers or projects. And like I've never even pulled like a proper all-nighter. They're like near all-nighters where I'm like, yeah, up until like 4, I wake up at 7 a.m. to turn in the paper or something, right? But I remember on those days, yeah, it was like a fever dream. Nothing could make me feel better. No amount of caffeine. Yeah, making stupid mistakes. Like, honestly, probably like driving was not even like a smart idea. Stuff like that. I feel for you. Okay, this does not have me drawing the rest of the hands, so I'll just move on to the next thing. I think it wants me to get the proportions and like understanding the guides, which like I'm good with. We've achieved that goal in this drawing. Maybe kind of like getting a bit more of a 3D form here. Understanding the fingers aren't flat. I tend to do that. That's a mistake I make when I draw. Rip. Or like this. Maybe we can make this even feel a little more 3D with like a little bit of shadow. Yeah, that helps. Okay, cool. That's fine. Then we'll just make these a little darker. We won't have to knock the whole thing back. Because this is fine. Yeah, sleep is precious to me. After I graduated college, I was like, I'm not doing that again. We're prioritizing sleep. This is important to me. Sleep and food are precious. I've been focusing on portraits a lot recently, but the reckoning will come and I'll have to study hands eventually. You know, that's actually what my last few months have been. So I've been doing a lot of portraiture work. I started it probably around like December, like around the holiday season. Did a lot of work on studying faces and like breakdowns of that. And then even recently, like after I finished these, I've been working on some fan art portraits to get a new like painting system going for portraiture instead of just like sketches and proportions and whatnot. And so I decided to lay off on that, and I do now these like daily anatomy studies so that I don't forget how to draw the rest of the body. Because when I came back to that from December, yeah, I kind of forgot. I was like, a leg? What's a leg? I can draw eyes. I can put a good nose on a face, let me tell you. But yeah, so now we're here. Now we're learning construction. Me. Anyone else can join, but y'all are just here to suffer me figuring this out. Okay, how was this? We're tilting this for my own brain's sake. It's like a very oddly tilted cylinder, but isn't gotta be perfect. I just really love portraiture though. It's so hard to like, whenever I start working on those fan art portraits, I'm like, this is fun. There's something about drawing like a face or a bust and painting it and messing around with the color. I really enjoy it. Okay, let's assume the hand's coming maybe toward us a little bit. We'll make the wrist a little, not wrist, the forearm a little thicker. Kind of assume the thumb would come this way and maybe be a bit foreshortened. That's my real enemy. It's foreshortening. Foreshortening gets me, man. Gets me. I find I either have to like really build out like a grid or a lot of construction or something, even with environments, or my new thing is now, well, not new. It's relatively relatively new. I use Blender a lot for environment work because it just speeds up the process. And as I've had many a director say to me, is use the tools you're given. Work smart, not hard. And don't reinvent the wheel. And I took that advice to heart. Okay, so in the reference, actually, they kind of have this. Let's futz with this a little bit. Oh, not like that. This is flatter. It's lower. It's definitely more turned like that. And it kind of disappears. So we'll kind of fake that with the shape of the fingers. I've heard that's pretty common in the industry for any kind of hard perspective work. Yeah, it's just so much easier. I used to like, there was like a mental hump I had to get over with that, with like, oh, I wanna, I think a lot of beginner artists go through that too, with like, oh, cheating and like not using reference and whatever. Or like, yeah, like, oh, 3D work. And like, there is some merit to like, obviously being able to piece together perspective without it. But it's also like, if you have the knowledge already and you use something like Blender and it's just going to make you faster, then people are like, yeah, why not? Like, don't use it to like bypass the fundamentals, but rather help things go smoother. And whenever somebody told me that, I was like, you know what? You're right. You're right. You're freaking right. It's also been really cool seeing Blender make such a glow up, such a presence recently in the industry, because I feel like 5-10 years ago it was like Maya or bust, and I don't have the money for Maya. Maya's expensive as hell. I can't. But Blender be doing the good work. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna kind of have this maybe come down for some. Make the hands look a little more dynamic. And then the pinky would, wait. Wait. No, I'm just gonna redraw that. That's not worth moving. Cool, and that'll be there. Erase this. Cool, we'll clean this guy up. Yeah, Blender's come a long way. Yeah, for sure. Not to date myself too much or anything, but I had a friend in college that was getting into Blender. I went to college for music. I know some people on the stream know that. But yeah, I went to college for music. And all my roommates were also musicians, but one of them decided to jump ship from their degree early, like most of us actually have now. But one of them was like, yeah, I'm gonna get into like 3D art and like photography. He actually does like photo scan work in like Atlanta now, but he started that whole journey by like doing Blender and stuff. And Blender, I remember him showing it to me, and it is nothing like it is today at all. And that was probably like 6-7 years ago. Yeah, maybe like 6 or 7 years ago. It's changed a lot. A lot. I'm very glad I didn't get into it quite when he was getting into it, because I feel like there's also a lot more resources out there for people like me now who had to, you know, kind of learn it from the ground up. Don't know anything about it. But now I use it all the time. Something I would like to get better at with Blender, though, I feel like I'm not super good with like nodes and like geometry nodes especially. I feel fairly good about like my modeling skills, and particularly my polygonal modeling. Also, sculpting something I want to get better at. You told me to sculpt a character, I'd be a little like, ooh, okay. I'll try my best. I don't like this line there. Get out. Oops. Gosh, my dexterity, come on. Okay, I just want to fix. I feel like this is looking a little wonk, but outside of that, it's not bad. I'll take it. Oh, eraser tool, please. Yeah, it's not bad. I'll take that. I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, how many hands we got left? Only a couple. Yeah, I'm not feeling too bad about these. This is decent. It's decent. Oh. I also gotta remember to take water breaks. Oh, I don't know if this has come up yet, but if you guys do hear my puppy barking in the background, you should let me know. He's not right now, but I did try to put on a noise gate, and of course I need to set, like, you know, the proper levels for said noise gate, but I couldn't do that because when I was setting it up, I had it on for a while because I was waiting for him to bark so I could test it, and the whole afternoon, nothing to bark at, which is very unlike him. Very unlike my boy. So yeah, I kind of just like my husband was actually in the living area, like around where he normally barks, and was like squeaking his toys or like making random noise to try to like simulate it. So we guessed at the noise gate levels, and we're gonna hope it works. Actually, what's to be like? Let's like bend it. Yeah. Yeah, so that'll be fun. We'll see. We'll see if my noise gate does its job. That'd be fun. Let's see. This will be like there. Kind of bending down. Cool. Give myself a bit more room. I tend to draw off the canvas all the time anyway. Book. What do I want to do next? I think I may do the little circle trick. Why not? It's worked for me so far. Why abandon something that's working? Oh wait, no. And speaking of abandoning what's working, this is the goated trick, the draw in the shape of the fingers that you want. Because this is like, I can already tell this is way too big, like long. But yeah, these fingers are a bit more spread out and like both pointed inward. It's an interesting shape, that's for sure. The thumb's just kind of off doing its thing. We'll start with the pinky then. Kind of assume that's there. That's way too long for a pinky. Oh man, we're gonna have to fix that. Okay. It's okay. Well, you know what? We'll do the rest. We'll fix it. This is what sketching's for. You know, you throw what you need on the paper. Maybe my original hand wasn't too. Maybe it wasn't too big. Maybe it was. I don't know. We're gonna You know what it is? I'm looking at the reference here, and the reference makes the fingers look absolutely crazy long. It makes the fingers look like, I don't even know, like almost hag fingers. I don't know how else to explain it. so we're gonna use the reference given, and we're gonna adjust. Okay, yeah, this is kind of turning sideways. We have this is like hidden behind a bit. With the thumb just poking through. We don't need to give it much attention. It's fine. Okay. Okay. Sketching is so funny, man. Sometimes they just like, I don't know, you really gotta just throw whatever you got out there and keep doing new passes. You never know how it's gonna turn out. Okay, but this will be fine. Okay, it still wants us seeing kind of like the top of the pinky. And okay. Indicate the knuckles. Yeah, that works. The hand is much simpler in this one. It's just, yeah, like standard box shape. They don't do this as much, but I'm going to kind of like indicate this taking up the whole space of this plane of the hand here. Just for my own sake even, I feel like that's gonna help me. There, cool. And then this one is like barely turned, but not really. Okay, that finger looks broken. We gotta change it. I think giving this the old wiggle is gonna be fine. Can we wiggle this guy? Alright, maybe not. It's a little less broken, but really we just gotta, yep, do this. Or maybe he's just got broken fingers. Who am I to judge? That's still bothering me though. We're gonna redo this. I feel like the rest of it's fine. And we're gonna do this. Yeah, then draw. It does have this shaded, I think just to indicate that plane. I'll be happy to do that. Cool. Let's do, yeah. Okay, cool. That actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. That pinky's still a little funny, but like honestly, that's kind of what it looks like in the reference. Yeah, I don't think that's bad enough for me to redo. I'll take what I've gotten from this and move it away. Cool. That really leaves only like one more big one to do. And that's it. Yeah, I don't want to start this one. This one's interesting. Might break my little trick. My little trick I've figured out this session. Rip. Okay. We gotta move it because the fingers are active. Very active. This guy's going like up here. And the next guy's like down here. It's a really cool shape. I like it. The fingers are all fanning out. Okay, and again, this is probably too big. Alright, so something I have seen consistently since yesterday, really, is I draw fingers too big. I definitely have the shoujo hand syndrome. It's not a bad thing. Yeah, not inherently a bad thing. But I don't necessarily always want to do that. Sometimes I do not want the long, skinny fingers. Let's actually make this guy straighter and like maybe more grouped with the pinky. You know what I mean? And then maybe like this guy's bent still, but more separated and with the other three. Or separated from like the index finger, you know? But maybe it's like a little more bent. That's kind of a cool look. We'll go for it. Okay. Oh. I have no idea if there are any other Americans in chat, but if there are, I would love to hear your thoughts on the time change. Or you know what, even if you're not American, because don't they do like time changes elsewhere? Like I think UK has a time change too, right? It's just at like a different time of year. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it because I am anti-time change because it messes with me. Speaking of the talk earlier of like sleep important, grumpy when no sleep. Time change messes with me, man. I'm still not recovered from it. It's been like 2 or 3 days. That's tough. That's tough. I feel like it used to not affect me as much too, and like honestly maybe that's just come with like getting older. Maybe. I hate to admit that. My pride hurts at that. I do also live my schedule. Okay, because like as a freelancer, as somebody who kind of makes her own schedule for a living, and honestly, my husband kind of does too. Even though he's more of like a salaried person, he's a software engineer, so like he also makes his own schedule that way. We very much live our day schedule by like, oh, when the sun goes down or when the sun rises and that kind of thing. And when the time changes suddenly and you have to like plan meetings still, but it's the jarring effect of it, it's just, it messes with us, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. I don't care which one they pick, but I wish they'd just stick with one. Dude, that's how I feel. I 100% agree. Because yeah, I don't even care which. I just want it to stop. Stop the madness. I think there was even like, wasn't there talk of like, there was almost a bill passed where like, this was like within recent years where like they almost got it to stay at one time too. And it was so close to being a thing, and then it didn't. And I'm not like totally sure why, but maybe one day, you know, maybe one day we could unite on this front. This will be the thing that brings humanity together. Okay, I don't like that. Oop. Don't like that one either. That one's fine. That's fine enough. Okay, cool. That's pretty good. And then, how would I connect the thumb? Maybe I could just draw it like really lightly. Assume it's kind of here-ish. So yeah, that's about where it would be, right? It'd be like here. Oh no, it'd be higher. Whoops. Thank God for the undo tool. Some states don't have it either, which makes it extra confusing. Yeah, I always forget about that. Isn't it like Illinois is one? It's like Illinois, Arizona. I forget which. Yeah, and I don't even know. How does that work with like airline travel? Like, I don't know. I'm not in one of those states. I'm in Florida right now. I have no idea how that works. Or what planning for that must be like. That's gotta be a part of someone's job, right? It's just funny to think about. Alright, the thumb is hidden. Cool, that's it. We have this hand coming up from the ether. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know. It is such a weird thing. It seems so antiquated too in this era of, like, I don't know. I don't even know exactly why they do daylight savings time. I know it like some people say like, oh, it's for the farmers, or some people say just like it's safer. I've seen the argument for even like kids going to school in the winter up north. And like I'm not gonna pretend like I know exactly why. But it seems so antiquated. We're like in this era, you know, we're kind of expected to work 24/7. Or like, you know, we're also plugged in 24/7 that it just seems a little silly. But all right, we've done our hand studies. I've learned today. I've learned blocking in the fingers helps. Yeah, and looking at these, I'm pretty happy with them. The construction method's working out. I'm happy with it. I think it was supposed to save on fuel. Oh yeah, I've heard of that too. Yeah, during World War II, because people would use less electricity if it stays light later. That makes a ton of sense. Now that you say that, I've heard that too, and that seems to be probably the most plausible. And maybe the other arguments are just like pros and cons to keep it or to get rid of it now. But that makes a ton of sense. See, that's what I mean. Antiquated. Like, we don't... The world's different now. Things are different. Change it. Okay, let's us... What are we gonna do now? I have Photoshop open. So I might switch over to that briefly. And do those portrait paintings I was talking about earlier. Which means I gotta get the iPad out of here. Again, if anyone's curious, it's the Morpho books. I love them. They're awesome. I know drawing hands might not be the most glamorous thing, but they do have a ton of good information in them. Okay. But now we gotta switch over to my Cintiq, which is a whole process. Not really. I'm quite lucky. I have my Cintiq on one of these like ergo arms, so I just move it over. And then I gotta make sure my windows are in the right spot. Okay, so Yedek, I know you weren't around for this saga, but last week I had crazy internet issues. Like crazy internet issues. It was wild. Stream dropped probably like 6 or 7 times out of nowhere and had bad frames. So if you hear me talk about frames, that's why. But we're doing good. I feel like the internet problems have fixed themselves. I say very, very carefully. Superstitiously. That would be nice. Okay, so we're going back to our Baldur's Gate fan art. I'm currently in the midst of painting everyone's favorite vampire, Astarion, for studies. I was gonna get to my Lae'zel portraits, but like honestly, I've been working on these for like 3 weeks on stream, and I just kind of want to move past them. So I don't know. We might get to the Frog Lady soon. We might not. I'm not sure. Painting vampires. Okay, sweet. That's updated. Sick. And that's in a good spot. Awesome. Sorry, making sure I got the right files open because I was futzing around with some adjustments. Okay, cool. This is what we've got done so far. We've got 4 mostly complete portraits. Couple things I want to fix on them. Yeah, just kind of like touching up layer management, etc., etc. But this is what we've been doing. I'm working on a new way to paint portraits because I used to do them very differently, and I'm trying to really separate well, there's 2 goals with this. I'm trying to really separate kind of like my use of values, and I just do a value pass before adding color on top of it and learning to adjust that from there. The other thing I'm trying to get out of this is, again, like with my anatomy warm-ups, is trying to work without reference all the time because I'm so reliant on it. I'm confident with a process with reference. I am trying to not be as reliant. So that's what we do. As you see here, I still have like a ref file, but trying not to use it as much. So, what do we want to get done today with these guys? I wanted to finish color adjusting this one because I'm not quite as happy with it as I am the others. Also, this guy still needs a little bit of adjustment. Everybody thinks they're gangster until the ref goes away. Dude, for sure though. Like, it's tough. And like, I'm pro ref. Like, I'm saying how like, oh yeah, I'm trying to learn without it, as like, I'm still like, no, I'm gonna use it. But also, I feel so crazy dependent on it that like, it's a nightmare sometimes if I'm thrown an assignment and maybe I can't find great ref for it, and it's just like halfway decent, and I feel like I'm treading water. So if I could avoid that in the future, that'd be awesome. Okay, let's get rid of the shading. Let's work on... Nope, that's not what I wanted. This is it. I wanted to take this guy and see if we can just make his colors a little better. Let's see if we can do that with like paint overs, huh? Yeah, like what do I want different? His eyes need to be a little more stark, saturated. His skin just needs to be paler. Like how this has like more yellow in it. And it's just brighter. It's missing that. Okay, well clearly it's not. Context, because that's on multiply. Let's just do like a classic paint over layer. And if that's what we need, I'll go back to the gradient map and like we'll see. Yeah, it just needs to be like, it just needs to be whiter. He's gotta look dead. He's a dead man. Yeah, honestly, I'll just do that. I'll just go over, paint over. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. I do want this to be a bit of a hard edge, though. Where the cheek kind of turns. Oops. Sticky keys, why you hate me? I keep trying to turn that off, too, and then my computer's like... Yeah, it's off. What are you talking about? I'll go on stream and I'm like, clearly you're wrong. Someone's lying to me, Windows. Yeah, what if I had like, kind of like, you know those diamond shapes that'll sit on the highlight of the nose? I like those. Those are nice. Okay, maybe like where this edge turns just a tad. Oops. Maybe not quite up there, but... What else can we add? What else can we add? Maybe a bit more shadow by the nose. This is another thing I struggle with this character, but I'm also like kind of glad I picked him for this. So he's also older. So he's got like the, what do they call it? The nasolabial folds or whatever. These are like way more prominent for him. And it's very interesting to try to paint them in while not making him look too old. Let's try this guy. Or like unappealing, you know? You still want the painting to be appealing, but also have it kind of like, you know, showcase his features. Honestly, some of that might just be like, it's a bit too low. Let's go back to this guy. Okay, what else do we want? Maybe we can make this eye highlight pop a bit more. Nope, I liked it better before. I actually like the stronger highlight on the face. It's very unlike me. I normally love... I'm a sucker for that eye highlight. We can probably put a little bit, yeah, of a stronger one over here, though. Oops. Just a little guy. Make sure this is still there. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, maybe not quite as bright, but I do think that adds to the vibe. He can't be tan, man. He can't be tan. This guy's paler than me, and like I'm pretty pasty. I'm gonna grab that color again from over, yeah, over here. Maybe put the teeniest bit over here? Can I do that? It's alright. It's alright. It might be too bright for this, because this side's supposed to be in shadow. Well... Okay, wait. Let's pop it in a few other spots, see what we got. And maybe with, like, a softer brush... What can we use? What would be smart? Also, maybe we try with like whatever. This be good? Yeah. Let's try this. This is probably a little overkill, but something else I want to work out with these, and it's a little easier for me to do in black and white, hence the process I'm working on. But brush economy stuff is another thing I'm really trying to be more mindful of, and I can tell it slips through the cracks. I can feel it when it does. It's difficult to do, but one day I'll get there. Yeah, now his skin just looks like it's got like too many brush marks on it, which is not quite the look I'm going for. Honestly, okay, I hate the Photoshop smudge tool, but can we do that? Kind of fixed it. Kind of fixed it though. I don't know what it is about this smudge tool. This one works. My other ones never have at all in the past, so I'll take what I can get. Maybe we could add a bit of light, like... Yeah, I feel like there'd be some there. That's nice. Maybe the teeniest bit more on, like... Yeah, his lip. I do want to get to the eyes. I just think they should be a starker red. Yeah, like these are popping. What's going on over here? I'm just gonna paint some of this in really loosely, and then something that might help. Let's make this more saturated. The other ones have like a darker red rim. Yeah, like around here, that probably helps. Oops. We'll just kind of give the eyes a little more attention right now. Kind of here, a little bit around the pupil. Yeah, even that helps a lot. That helps a lot. His lips could use more color, but like honestly, because he's dead, I'm not too concerned about it. It's kind of a vibe. I do want to paint back in if I can. Yeah, like this purple color here. Just gotta make him look a little miserable, you know? Oh, it's so funny. The man looks miserable. I'm tired. This guy just pulled an all-nighter. Struggling. I feel for that. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Okay, let's also do... Whoop, not that close. Let's give the eyes... Okay. Let's pop... Make sure this highlight really pops. Maybe give like a little bit of a highlight. Yeah, where like it looks a little more wet, you know? Maybe like stuff like that. Yeah, I feel like from far away that'll just make it look a little more reflective. And then a bright eyelid highlight would be nice. Especially if we could darken up like the eye shadow a bit. I kind of wish I made those a little more apparent. Like shading it as a orb, you know? But that's fine. These are studies. I'm learning a lot. We're here to learn. Everything's fine. Okay, I kind of like that they're a little like mismatched. Not mismatched, but like one color's blending into the next. Like a fleshy color. Maybe we do that. Yeah, that's cool. Save. The hair I'm pretty happy with. The hair is where I want it to be for this level of rendering. I could do more with like flyaways and stuff too, but with like the white background and it's already like a curly mess, we're fine. Let's look better at the paint. It might be... So here's the thing, on my Cintiq, I love it. On my monitor, I don't hate it, but I don't love it. You know what I'm saying? That's the pain of color correction. The tragedy of color correction. Color always looks different elsewhere. It sucks. Okay, maybe we just... Honestly, okay, what I'll do, because I don't want to lose this, I'm just gonna mask it and we're gonna really lightly brush some of it away, but not all of it. Particularly on this side. Yeah, I think I like that. On this multiply layer, there's like nothing there. That must be for one of these other ones. I do want to mess around with maybe like darkening like here. I do really like to make the inner eye corner dark. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Maybe even like under the nose. Although we can make that more saturated. Let's do that. Let's see what we can get out of these colors. What's that? Also, I guess like the ear would kind of be in more shade. With how dark that side of his face is. Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Let's, for funsies, we're gonna do that merge trick that we do. Perfect. Go down here. Select all the flats. Oh yeah, I forgot that didn't include the eyes sometimes. Okay, cool. That's everything. Reverse. Delete all the extra stuff we don't need. And just for funsies, this is a trick I do sometimes. When I'm like messing around with color stuff, I go to, is it image? Yeah, and I see what these do just for funsies. So the auto color, and I do it on a new layer so I don't lose whatever I previously worked on. It gives him a lot more pink in the skin, which like is nice. But that is kind of on purpose because he's a vampire. He ain't alive. He's got no blood running through him. That is kind of a fun idea though. I'll keep that. I'll keep it. I'll decide on it later. And we'll save. Alright, what time is it? 2:45? Okay, the plan was to go at 3, so I do have to leave soon. And I'm wondering if I want to jump on the next thing or not. What would the next thing be? You know what I could do? I have to finish editing this guy's face because I messed up a little corner here by his cheek. We'll do that and then I'll probably have to go. Yeah, let's see if we can fix that with that same paint layer. Yeah, I just like, I feel like it's not, I had adjusted the eyes and I did a funny thing with like the transform and liquefy tool. So it left this part looking, I think, a little funny after that. But nothing we can't fix. Yeah, like that's already better. I don't want to lose this though. Well, okay, I guess some of the cheekbone would come across and catch that. So that makes sense. Those anatomy studies paying off. Just kidding. Oh god. I do want... Okay, something I'm curious how this would go. I do kind of want these lines to be a bit like darker. Can we do that? Or is that gonna be dumb? That might be dumb. That might be dumb. This might be a mistake. Yeah, because I almost feel like I want these darker and warmer, like less purple. Maybe even like grayed out. Maybe that's why I'm feeling like warmer. And that would kind of include this. Even with the sun there. This would definitely be in more shadow. So what happens if I do like this? Do I like it more? I don't know. Maybe I can make it less gray and more red? Honestly, I'll just do that with a color slider. Hold up. Yeah, I think it does look better if I add a bit more saturation to it. Okay, where does that look better? Because that's not bad. But a little more depth does help, doesn't it? Not that much. This is before. It's not that different. It just changes the color. That's the main thing we changed. I'll take it though. The saturation's a lot better. Okay, is there anywhere else I want to add that color? Whoops, there we go. Maybe a bit like... I could do the same with that nasolabial hoopla I'm talking about. I am definitely erring not on the side of old, am I? Yeah, that's not bad. Maybe we just like get rid of it a bit here. Nope. There we go. Yeah, I feel like that's not bad. I think that fits more than I originally thought it would have. What if we... Can we paint some of this in, like, by hand? With lines? See, the issue with this, too, is I need to make him look, like, older and not like he's got, like, chubbier cheeks. You know what I mean? Like, the way, like baby fat sits on cheeks, because then that does the opposite effect. And it makes him look too young. I think that's fine for now, though. Yeah, and I feel better about how the eye looks. So we'll take that. We'll take that guy. For what he is. Okay, with that. Ooh, a follow. That one tiny demon. Thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you. Yeah, and unfortunately, that's about it, I think, for me, because I do have to go around 3. And I fear if I start anything else, I will lose track of time like I normally do. But yeah, we have 4. I'm gonna call these completed. We're gonna finish up this guy next. I'm gonna stream Thursday next at the same time. I start at 1 p.m. EST, and hopefully I'll be able to go later. That's the plan. We'll be able to finish this guy up, because the way I'm doing my stuff is I do like a shading pass. I know this looks like garbo now, but I promise there's a method to the madness where I do everything in like a black and white pass over my sketches, and then I do like a gradient map thing, and I'm wanting to share that all on stream because it's stuff I would have loved to watch when I was first learning how to paint, you know? In the meantime, we have the finished guys. Or, these are the finished guys. Yeah. Cool beans. Whoops, there we go. Okay, there's all my stuff. Yay! Sweet, yeah, so that's the plan. Thursday, I would love to finish these up. That'd be awesome. And then next week we can move on to other things. I have some like original characters I want to design. There's some environment work stuff I want to do. Potentially more Baldur's Gate fan art. Because I really want to do the Lae'zel sketches. And that'd be really fun. Although I'm thinking now if I paint green skin, that's so specific. Maybe that's not the best thing to study. But I'm going to go for it. There's so much to do. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you so much for the follows, hanging and talking. I really just love having, you know, chatting with people and making art. It makes my day a little brighter, and I hope it makes your day a little better too. So yeah, with that, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Maybe I'll see you Thursday, and if not, you know, I'll just see you around whenever. And thanks so much for everything. Have a good one. Bye. See ya.